What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, former runner-up of American Idol, and you are watching the Idol Breakdown. We have 20 full contestants. I don't ever review half contestants. We have 20 contestants. We're going to fly through. We got a jam-packed show. At the very end, I'm going to show you my top 10. Let's get started with Jack Blocker. Jack.
Came to get my money back.
I like Jack. Loved him from the beginning. I thought he did great. I think, unfortunately, this is the last time we're going to hear him sing on American Idol because he was first, but also he picked a very middle of the road song. It was a cool song. You don't tug on Superman's cape. Woo! You don't spit into the wind. Come on. It's like great. Happy-go-lucky. Fun, feels good, sounds good. He executed well, but you gotta swing for the fences. You got every song you sing on American Idol at this point needs to be a case why you're the greatest singer of all time. You're the greatest artist of all time. You have to swing for that fence every time. And middle of the road songs that just feel good. No. Not the place to do them. Last week, he gave us some goods. He gave us some juice. This week, a lot of contestants, not just Jack, gave us just good sounding songs instead of game changers. And you need game changers. Mia. I'm barefoot and bareback and born tough as nails. I thought she kind of did the same thing. She did a good song. There are so many songs out there that are just built to dazzle, and all you have to do is just sing the melody and you're already halfway there. Now, she pulled it out because the last note was really strong, and she did this really, really well. So even her, she's so good that she can do just a feel-good kind of rockin' song. But I would have loved for her to hit another song like Daddy's Hands, like just something that just puts us on our back. Another reason you don't want to do an upbeat song is because producers want upbeat songs for the beginning of the show, and you don't want to be on the beginning of the show. You want to be later. If you do a ballad, I know they don't like it, but if you do a ballad, there's no way you're going to be first. You're probably not going to be second or third either. They want up-tempo to get the audience like into it. The irony is there's nothing that gets me out of it than just an up-tempo jammy song. McKenzie Soul. I liked how he started at the piano. He had a couple runs that did the same thing that I've been saying that were just quick and you couldn't really differentiate the notes. They kind of just go over our head in that situation. But he did have one that was awesome. In the falsetto, was very clear. Every note was heard, and I smiled very big when he did that. I think McKenzie has the tools. I think this is the last step he has to make to be a like bona fide, for real songbird, like singer, whatever that means. I think the last step is falling in love with the music and enjoying the music authentically and letting it move you as you play it and sing it and trust that that's enough. Right now, it feels like everything he does is to impress the listener. And you can do that, but really where music finds its biggest, truest, highest value is in moving people emotionally. And the best way to do that is to be moved yourself. Sing from that place and trust that that's enough and invite the audience to be moved along with you. Like a handful of performances in this episode, it seemed like there's no one else in the world other than that contestant because they were singing it so emotionally and so from the heart. If McKenzie really locks into that, I think that would make a massive leap in his artistry. Roman.
I could have lost it all.
Talk about singing authentically. Roman kills it, as Roman always does. We hear a pretty compelling story about his near-death experience, and then he sings Never Would Have Made It. The end, okay, so we've seen Roman jump around and dance and get excited. That's because he loves music and he gets into it and like, you come on for la top, come together, and just going for it. He's having fun, bringing energy to the performance. At the end of this song, he's not jumping up and down to perform. He's not jumping up and down because he thinks it brings energy to the performance. There's a difference when you are singing and just enjoying the gift of melody and harmony and rhythm and musical art, and singing specifically about who you believe to be God, the Creator, and a relationship that you have with Him. In the Bible, for those of you who aren't familiar, there are tons of stories of Christians, of followers, of God lovers, praising Him, saying all these great things about God, like, God, I never would have made it. That's not scripture, but that's an example of what Roman's doing here and how much he loves God. There's something that unlocks in the human spirit when we are singing to who we believe, and who I believe, to be our creator and lover of our soul. We got to witness that multiple times. Roman's the first, but multiple times actually in this episode. And it's something special regardless of what you believe, to see somebody very just explicitly say, praise God, and use Jesus' name very specifically. Quintavius did it too, which is cool, but we'll get to him later. Kennedy. Let's pause a little bit to talk about talking trash online. I hope that none of my viewers ever go to someone's account and gives their unsolicited opinion to that person. I think if you go to someone's account and start saying why you don't think they're great, or any problems you have with them, or like American Idol's account that tags them, or an account that has them tagged, and you start making comments that are hurtful and mean-spirited, you need to find a higher worth in life, because it's really one of the lowest places you can be, or you're not aware of the impact you're having, and you don't realize that it's very likely that that person is going to see it. So one of the two things: you're intentional and you know they're going to see it and you want to just bring them down, dirtbag. Or two, you're just saying stuff because you're enjoying the process and you like to be a judge too, and you don't realize that they might actually see it, or you don't think they're real people. Well, newsflash, they're exactly like me and you. I was a contestant. They're all the same. We're all people. Now, if you are commenting on this video, this is a forum for talking about our opinions. Still, there's no point in being mean to be funny, and I hope to God I never come across as a bully or mean-spirited in anything I say. I'm dedicated to being honest and giving authentic feedback from my experience on the show and my experience as an independent artist and a singer and a songwriter. And that's what I've committed to do for you guys. But if I ever come across mean-spirited, please let me know. Second thing, and not more importantly, equally as important, I have seen some contestants watching these videos. If you are a contestant on American Idol this season and you are watching this video right now, look at me in the face I love you. Stop watching these. If you want true, honest feedback, DM me, and I would love to give you much better feedback than I would give in this critique of a Idol breakdown review show, and more in depth, way more in depth. And we can talk, we can get on a phone call. I am wide open to help you. This is not the place to get that stuff, because I'm just critiquing and flying through contestants. You shouldn't be watching any reviews or watching any comments. You should focus on what your coaches are saying, focusing on the next week, and doing the best version of yourself. You've got great resources on Idol. If you'd like to talk to me to help, I would love to. Truly, would love to. Let's talk about Kennedy. Overall, I thought those big belting notes that she hit were really strong. I personally loved her hair and loved her look tonight. The Groove Crew was going on, and the watch party was going on and on about how much they loved this look and thought she was just looked great. She did miss a pretty big transitional moment that either cracked or just was out of key. That was pretty significant. But 95% of her notes I thought were pretty strong. So much of singing to one's best ability is about having somebody to tell you that you're doing something wrong. It's like the friend that will tell you when you have something in your teeth and other people don't, and you know your real friend is like the one who will tell you. We all need that. With singing, it's tougher because no one wants to be the person that like straight up's like, hey, you're flat. Hey, it's annoying when you do this. Hey, what? That's tough, and no one really wants to be that. And if someone is that, it's hard to receive. That's what vocal lessons are for, that I do. So if you're a singer and you've done like all the me's and ma's, and you're struggling with actually putting it together into a performance, you need someone to listen to your voice. I've got a vocal foundations course that goes through a lot of this, but if you need somebody that is really listening to you one-on-one and helping you perfect the voice that you already have, I want to do that for you. I've opened up a couple different options so that anyone who wants this can absolutely get this regardless of budget. So the breakdown of it, 30 minutes, one-on-one, me and you on Zoom, $100. 15 minutes, I'm doing micro lessons, 15 minutes, $50. Me and you one-on-one will jump straight into it. And if you have any questions, this is the crazy one. I'm going to do 5-minute consult for $5. And after the consult, I'll give you your $5 back. It's really just to hold your spot so I know that you won't no-show. And if you don't show, I'm keeping your $5. If you want to feel more confident, if you've done all this work but you really don't know how to apply it, I'd love to help you. And not only will I be nice in how I tell you how to fix these things, but teaching for 4 years, I really have found to know what I'm talking about, and I've found a lot of success in helping singers of all ages and of all skill levels, from pros to people who are just starting off and have never sung in their life. I'd love to help you. Email me if this is of interest to you at beckhamlessons@gmail.com and we'll get cracking. Let's talk about Aji. Thought he had a rough start. The first verse in its entirety was a little confusing to me. I didn't really know what was going on. Melodically, pitch-wise, I was just a little off-centered. Then the chorus felt good. I love the victory lap that he took when that band break hit and he just like went in a circle and was just hype, like prancing around. Was super into that. I thought this was a strong rock performance. I feel like there are better songs for him to do. Not my favorite from Aji. Jennifer Jeffries.
Can't talk to mother.
She's a player, dude. She's got pocket. She's a musician. She's for real, and she's an artist. Her voice is very stylized. You either love that style or you're just not super into it. I'm on the just not super into it side, just barely. But the respect that I have for her and the confidence I have in her future career is very high. I also think she was pretty disappointed at how she did, or maybe she was disappointed at just how the judges responded. I tell contestants, you gotta take the judges' critique with a grain of salt, because sometimes they just need something to say and they don't know what to say, and they just say what comes to mind that sounds fancy. Emmy. I thought this was a beautiful song. I had a lot of original songs. It's one of my favorites. Katie said it needs to be more full, more air, longer notes, power. The thing that drove me nuts in the auditions, and I went on a giant rant about it. She said this, but I actually agree with this one. And it's not that I'm wanting Emmy to try to become Jana. It's just not what I'm saying. It just felt like her notes were about 80% full. Like they just needed a little bit more support. But a beautiful song. Tristan.
And I lay down and die.
Hope, Hold On, Pain Ends. Dude, this is a good song. This is why Tristan's a superstar. It's not his talent that makes him a superstar for me. It's not his songwriting. It's not even his voice. It's his execution. The brighter the lights, the better he does. And it seems like he's not even flinching. Like you could put him on the Grammy stage tomorrow and he would murder. A great songwriter, a great voice, and has a ton of talent. I agree with Luke. I think he's going to be doing this for the rest of his life. This was the first time a contestant performed and the thought entered my head, I think he can win. I haven't thought about that about any other contestant except Tristan. Odell. I thought this was strong. I thought it was groovy. I wasn't crazy about the song choice. Again, you could sing any song ever, and he picks like a groovy mid-tempo song that he can like just do a bunch of runs and riffs on at the end, and he killed them. But man, there's some better songs out there that could just take the whole night. He's got the talent to be the best of the night, but he's not picking the song to make that happen. I wait to ask this because I know that if you're still watching this, you've got to like it. So all I'm asking you to do is to let the like button on your personal server reflect your emotions. If you like this and you're still watching, just make sure that the thumb up button is like gray or whatever it looks like when it's clicked. I've been asking you guys for ideas for 80,000 subscribers, like for an incentive. Well, one of you guys said you and Iggy should do a duet. So I reached out to Ziggy. He picked a song and we did a duet. At 80,000 subscribers, I will release this on my Instagram and YouTube shorts. At 80,000, we're pretty close. So I'm hoping this will be released tomorrow and I could actually even put it in the video. Yo, Ziggy sent me his part because I was like, all right, here's the arrangement, here's the idea. I made a piano track. I was like, sing your part and send it to me. I'll sing my part, edit it together. And he sent me his part. I was like, oh, homie wants to make a statement. So make sure we're going to hit 80,000 at some point. Stay tuned. Hit the notification bell so you know when it comes out. Whatever you got to do. I'm pretty hyped to show you guys this. Koo Ko.
Get over you.
Koo Ko's the content king. If you follow him on Instagram or TikTok, he's making great videos. This time, it seems like he made the entire pre-performance package himself. And it was great. Great editing, great humor. We totally felt like we knew him, and he's singing original songs, which makes us feel like we know him even more. He is giving us so much, so many good things. And then the song was great. One of my favorite songs that I've heard from him. The falsetto, the way he has it written in the song and the way that it's arranged is really hard to do on live television. Live in the room with the natural reverb of the room and the speakers and the crowd and the energy, I'm sure it's fine. But when you are belting like chest, 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 whoo, jump into falsetto like that, when that's just going straight from the mic to our TV speakers, it is very revealing and unforgiving and really hard to do well. My advice would be take those falsetto parts out and just, because when he did that same note in chest voice, it sounded great. And he put some pedal to the metal on some of these chest voice notes and gave us some grit. Dang it, dude. It sounded good. This was my favorite thing he's ever done. And I thought of another subscriber incentive. If we get to 85,000 subscribers by the end of the season, I will cover a Koo Ko song 100%. If he's still on the show, he can't participate. If he's not on the show, whenever that happens, I'll ask him and maybe he'll jump in. Oh, the guitar solo. That was nasty. Dude's rocking it. He would be a great winner. That would be so much fun. Jordan Anthony.
How could I say I like it like that?
Thought he had a rough start, and then the mic dropped. That's a stagehand problem, so someone got in big trouble. He had a crack, but it cracked into a big, nice note, so that worked out really well. I think that's a product of just pushing chest voice, like I said before, that made me nervous. But he pulled it out. A lot of times people will crack and they can't get out, and then it's just awful. I speak from personal experience. At the end, he had a great run, but didn't stick the landing. Like last time, you got these beautiful runs, and then you just have to just land the plane, and he doesn't quite do it. I think he's pretty disappointed in himself when the performance ends. And then the judges just start gassing him up. I mean, they are just throwing praises left and right. And I don't think those praises were accurate. I don't even know if the judges really believe what they were saying. I think they were just saying stuff to say stuff. Quintavius. I thought Quintavius was the best of the night. I think he might have been the best of last week too. This dude's making brilliant arrangements and coming for blood every time he sings. I love the gospel vibe here. And then I'd be hollow without you, Jesus, or whatever he said. I'm so down for gospel idol. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, country idol. Idol is so country. I think gospel is the primary genre right now, which I am about. At first, I was like, can you really do gospel? Quintavius, Roman, Odell, can you just do gospel the whole time though? I mean, they are, and there's 3 of them. Usually only one makes it through. There's 3 of them, and they're all getting votes. So, more power to them. One thing that Katie said that I thought was really great and really impressive, as much as Quintavius was doing, he was still measured. He was intentional. Everything he did, you could follow, and it made sense, and it sounded good. He wasn't screaming just to scream. It was artistic, and his taste was awesome. KB.
All of those nights.
Oh my gosh, my stomach. How it dropped. Oh, how it dropped. When she stopped the first time, I didn't know if it was on purpose or not. I was thinking, okay, the strings are still going. I'm pretty sure the strings are in a track, so they're playing to a track. Did she hear something in the click that screwed her up, that distracted her? Would they have stopped the strings? Did they have a playback guy that like skipped a measure or replayed a measure? All of what I'm talking about, by the way, if you're totally lost, these are all the things that are happening in their in-ears. A lot of times they're playing to a click, which is like a metronome to make sure they're playing in tempo. And then there are tracks that are actually often that are playing instruments they don't have necessarily. Now, they could have been playing that on the keyboard, whatever I was hearing. But my head's going crazy trying to think what just happened. And then she left, no doubt. When she missed a chord and stopped and sighed and shook her head, I was like, and she stopped for a while, dude. I was dying inside. Now, she kept fighting through and kept singing, pretty angry at herself, I bet. But man, she sounded great, like as good as I've ever heard her. And some of the notes she was hitting and some of the phrases and the emotion that was coming out of her was powerful. And let us not forget, that's a song that she wrote. Beautiful song. When I was talking earlier about song selection and how there are all these songs that are just built for these epic moments, this song had all of those elements to it of a song that would be built for this epic moment. Her song was perfect for that. A couple things. I don't think her messing up is going to lose her votes. I think it net will gain votes. But I do hate, and she probably does too, I do hate that how good she sounded and the fact that this was her song seemed to be overshadowed by her making a mistake. I really loved Lionel sharing his story of doing almost the exact same thing. I was thinking the whole time, I was like, I hope she knows that every judge on that panel has messed up like that multiple times. Everyone does it. I think she's fantastic. And I would have loved if she didn't mess up, because I think that performance could have been an absolute game changer for her in the competition. Still might have been. Naya. I thought this was Naya's coming out party. I was blown away at how good she sounded. I love the arrangement. A couple people in the watch party, the Groove Crew members, were like, is this jazz? Like, I don't really like jazz, or I wouldn't call it jazz. It was like this R&B groovy, like double time version, not double time, but like faster paced version of Georgia. So instead of like, boom, Georgia, ba-da-ba-ba, it was like, boom, Georgia, Georgia. It was that vibe, and I wouldn't call that jazz. I just call it like groovy, boppy R&B, and I thought she executed it really, really well. She just vaulted into my top 10, which I'll be revealing at the very end in totality. I've known this whole time she's got a great voice. This is the first time where I feel like she gave it to us in full. A watch party is when I live stream myself watching the American Idol episode as it plays on my TV. That live stream is only available for Groove Crew members. If you want to become one of these heralded members, there's a join button at the bottom of this video. It's $5 for a month. If you click it, you'll get access to this live stream and the Discord chat that we have. Actually, I'm going to open up again. If you're watching this video right now as a premiere, there will be a live Q&A that's open to everyone, and everyone can participate and ask me whatever they want. After that, the end of that 30 minutes, it'll be time for the show to start. So I will stop that Q&A live stream and start a brand new one for the watch party. I'm going to open it up again to everyone. However, if you want to participate in the chat, you have to be a member. You're welcome to join in the middle of the live stream, and then you'll be able to chat with us and talk. We gained quite a few members last time from doing it. I asked the members if they were okay if I did it again, and they're okay with this. Jana. Golly. Good Lord. Oh my. Jana plays no games. She's doing exactly what I thought she would. She is ripping through masterfully crafted arrangements of monster songs. She is not just executing, but she is doing every element of being good at American Idol. Arrangement, song choice, stage presence, execution, all of it at a 10 out of 10 level. She is crushing. The best of the night. She's still the best singer in the show. And as long as she's on, she's going to continue to do exactly what she's doing. Abby. Love the song choice. I love this song. It was super emotional. The arrangement was dope. The key change was sick. I personally was really invested emotionally until she tried the octave run, and it totally took me out. It was the carry on, we'll carry on. I was so in it, especially where that part came. It's the part that I remember of the song the most, and it's so pretty. And then she went, carry on, carry on. No! And she hit it. But even if she nailed it like perfectly with sharp notes, taking the stairs, not the slide. I mean, even if she did it perfectly, no, that's not where you do that. I was so into it. It was so emotional, so real. And that run, to me, left the world of singing it from the heart to look what I can do. And look what I can do is the counterfeit voice of music. It's the counterfeit reward of being impressed. It's not the juice, man. She has a knack for arrangements and for singing with emotion and evoking emotion, and runs like that have become so popular over the last 10 years, ever since social media singing has become a thing. I think that run, that octave run, bum, 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 pentatonic scale, 1-to-1, has polluted music and singing and has been ruining songs. Not all the time, but sometimes. And for me personally, that was a moment that I didn't want it there. Didn't need it. It's a little bit of a soapbox for me, but overall, really lovely performance. Will Mosley.
Go, baby.
I don't know. It's someone in the watch party said, if you don't love country, then you're not going to love Will. And it's kind of like Jennifer Jeffries, as far as like it's stylized. Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Doesn't mean it's not good. I'm on the, I don't, it's not working out for me personally. I actually thought this was one of his weaker performances. There were some strong moments, but I thought he was missing a lot. A lot of watch party members, the Groove Crew members, think he's going to win. We shall see. I think Tristan would have something to say about that. If we have to pick one country person, McKenna.
It's cloud illusions I recall.
Julia is mauling people when they get through. There are a couple people, she was like cussing. They had to bleep out things because she was like, I'm so effing proud of you. I love that. McKenna goes, talk about picking a good song. Great song choice. This is my favorite from McKenna from the whole season. And she's had a lot of great performances. This blows all of them away for me. Gorgeous song. So much emotion. She was so lovely at the piano. Knocked it out of the park. Julia.
I can see it in the stars across the sky.
Julia's got the pipes. She's got the talent. She's got the goods. She's not quite there on an execution level. And what I mean by execution is it's just not all coming together in a perfect vocal package. And don't get caught up with the word perfect. Her pitch is faltering a little too much. I think she's getting ahead of herself a little bit. She gives us like 3 or 4 diamonds per performance, 3 or 4 moments of like, oh my gosh, that voice. If she can really focus and work on getting everything together in a packaged, strong performance, similar to what Jana does and Quintavius does, she'll be a monster. I just think that it's almost like she's too good and doesn't know how to use this superpower that she has yet. All right, you guys want to hear my top 10? Here's my top 10. Those are my top 10, and really, it's not me, the critic, who counts, or you, the critic, who counts. It's not the man or woman who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. No, the credit belongs to the man or woman who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcoming. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends themselves in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if they fail, at least fail while daring greatly, so that their place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. I'll see you guys tomorrow.